What's up, everybody? My name's Cody Rattler, and we are back with Generation 3 on the ultimate favorite Pokemon picker. This online tracker, which if you haven't seen it yet, I would highly recommend you stop any further in this video. Go check out Generations 1 and 2, or the original video that I put out where we're talking about what this tracker is. And as always, if you want to fill it out, the link's below. So, by all means, dive in, enjoy it, have fun. Without further ado, we're going to kick off the Hoenn region. What is that? Ruby, Sapphire, and Emeralds? One of the best, in my opinion. Would you guys agree? Let's start off with the normal category as we do. First up, I haven't gone through these choices yet, so looking at our normal options, we have Zigzagoon, we have the Tailo, we have the Slaking line, nice. We have Loudred line. There's a Zoomeril. Spinda, we have Swablu, Zangoose, Castform, and Kecleon. Yeah? Honestly, when I'm going through this list, I feel like the first one to stand out and excite me is Slaking. This thing is one of like the hardest hitting Pokemon, but by default, they nerfed him. He's one of the only Pokemon that has like... I'll say it, he is the one Pokemon that has the worst ability in the game. At least I can't think of anything that is a worst ability, and it's because he's so good they had to nerf him. Essentially, every other turn, he doesn't listen, so he just, like, he's lazy. He slacks around, he's a slacking. On the turns that he goes, and he does whatever attack you're trying to land, he is a hard hitter. But it's the in-between. That's where they make up for it. We're going slacking. Alright, slacking taking the normal Gen 3. Let's take a look at the fire. There's really not a whole lot of fire. What is that, 7 options? Yeah, 7 total. Okay, so I love Blaziken. Numel and Camerupts. Torkoal and Castform. So Castform was in the normal. Are we going to see Castform's variant for all the typings? I guess that would count, wouldn't it? If you wanted a specific Castform. I don't know. Looking at this, I mean, Torkoal sees a lot of use in the online competitive. Torkoal's solid. The only other thing I think here might be Blaziken. So it's either going to be Blaziken or Torkoal. Now, I know I was trying to avoid starters previously as we were filling this out, but between these two, I might go Blaziken. I did like Torchic. Often I pick fire, and I think Torchic... probably a handful of times that I played Gen 3. Let's not linger on it too long. Let's just go with what my heart is telling me. We're going to go Blaziken. I do love Torkoal deserves some love. But Blaziken's taking it. Taking fire Gen 3, baby. Alright, water. Oh my god. Why are there so many water Pokemon? There's always so many water. Gen 3 water. So we got Swampert. We got Lotad's line with Ludicolo. We have Pelipper, also really solid Pokemon in the online battle. Sharpedo, Wailord. Okay, so we got some solid choices. Wishcash. There's the Corphish and spacing on Corphish. Why am I spacing on Corphish? Evolution. Phoebos and Melodic, though. I'm trying to think. Between these last few, I don't think any of these are going to make my cut. Although, Kyogre... definitely the top tier. Honestly, I'd between Kyogre and Groudon, I think I'd go Kyogre. But looking at this, all right, so I've got a handful of favorites within the water category. We have Sharpedo. I love Wailord. Melodic's amazing. I also am trying to avoid the legendaries when possible. Swampert is a given. Swamp ass. I don't know. I gotta boil it down to just a couple so I can make this decision. It's either going to be Sharpedo, which I might be leaning towards. I love Wailord, but I don't think that's going to trump Sharpedo in my book. Melodic is amazing. And then Kyogre. I can't pick Kyogre for... I love Kyogre. Normally, I'd say it's probably the best water in this category, but I'm going to stick to not just someone leaning towards legendaries, I guess. Volp, I mean, there was an entire organization based on the expanding the water. You're right, there was an entire group dedicated to more water in the world. Again, Sharpedo, Wailord, Melodic. I'm gonna go Sharpedo, although I think it's close between these top 3. All 3 of them are amazing. What do you guys think? Would you agree with those 3, or do you have another choice you pick? Let's keep it going. Grass, Gen 3. All right, we got a handful of grass types, too. Sceptile line, you can't go wrong. Ludicolo, again, we had them back-to-back in water and grass. We have Seedot's line. We have Breloom, one of my favorites. Cacturn. Credilli, and then Tropius, right? I would say between these, I think it comes down to either Sceptile, which again, not trying to focus too much on starters, but Sceptile is a favorite out of these grass Pokemon, or Breloom. I love Breloom. Fighting and grass, really cool combo. Breloom was one of the best Pokemon by this point in the series. That Drain Punch, ridiculous. Breloom was like one-shotting Pokemon for me. I love Breloom. What type of evolution would you like to see next? That's a good question. I'll pose the same thing to anybody here in chat, anybody watching, whether it's now, the VOD. What would you guys like to see next for an evolution? I love Ghost type, so maybe Ghost. Otherwise, it'd be really cool to see Dragon. I just want to know what those would look like for an Eevee, you know? Like, what is a Dragon Eevee? What is a Ghost Eevee? Anyway, grass. We're either going to go Sceptile or we're going to go Breloom. I think I'm going to go Breloom. I really like that fighting combo. Sceptile is amazing. Let me just be very clear. I love both of these. There's some handful of other good options here, but I think those are my top 2 with Breloom taking that. Wow, our Gen 3 Electric. We're very low on our options here. Man, I don't really have a favorite out of these 4. I don't. I guess we'll go with the evolution. I'll stick with the Evo in this regard. Who would you guys pick? There's only 4 options here. This might be one of the lowest categories that we've seen. I'm surprised. Only 4 electric in Gen 3. Moving along to Ice. Ice, we have a handful more. Cast Form, honestly, I never use Cast Form, so it's kind of cool seeing all the different weather forms because it was not on my team growing up in any sort of rotation. Glalie, sick. Back to the Wall Rain, awesome. Oh, Reg Ice, though. Fuck, I told myself I'd avoid doing legendaries, but honestly, out of all of these, which my favorite? Ice? Reg Ice is sick. I love it. I love the lore behind all the Reggies. I hope that those don't win by default, but Reg Ice is taking the cake here. Okay, moving on to fighting. Gen 3. So 2 of my favorites are already in here. We've got Blaziken, we've got Breloom. It seems that I do like me some fighting Pokemon. Makuhita is pretty sick. Metacham is really cool too. We're going to just eliminate these first 3. We can't pick these. I'm going to cross-eliminate them. Also, I'm sticking in evolutions mostly, so we're going to boil it down to these last 2. I do love how much HP Makuhita has got, but the Fighting Psychic is a pretty cool combo. Would I use either of these online? Probably not, but let's go Makuhita. Again, in the same vein in the last episode with Delibird having a future form, I really like that these future variants exist. I played Scarlet, but I love those Violet Paradox Pokemon. Amazing. We're going to go Makuhita. Alright, Poison. Also pretty limited. Gen 3 Poison type. So we've got Dusktops, Rosalia. We have Gulpin. And then, is that Survivor? Survivor. I think I'm going to have to give it to Rosalia. I love Rosalia. That shiny was one of my favorites, particularly in Pokemon Go. I'm pretty sure the leaf colors are a black and white color instead of those red and blue. I could be wrong. Maybe it's red and black, but either way, I had a black leaf, and that was pretty cool. We're going to go Rosalia. It's definitely one of my favorite grass types, like, overall. So it's pretty cool. I know this is the poison category, but when I'm thinking about grass types, typically I think this is more grass than poison, but There's no more than the other when it comes to a dual typing Pokemon. Ground type Gen 3. So Swampert, I love all three of these starters. I love Swampert. I don't know if I want to do another starter here. Okay, maybe I don't have to look any further. I love Flygon. I freaking love Flygon. Flygon's one of the coolest. Dragon and ground. Let's go, baby. Claydol is really cool too, ground and psychic. Although you can't really beat the best ground Pokemon. Like Groudon, come on. He's not even fire. He's just ground, right? He's just ground. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure he's just ground. Not even a fire type. Oh yeah, he's not, because we would have seen him in this category. He's not a fight. He literally just ground. Okay, arguably here, he's definitely going to be the best ground type in this option, but I'm trying to avoid spamming any legendaries if possible. I do like Swampert. I think Flygon's taking this for me. This might bite me in the ass in case Flygon's the only dragon. We might have to come back to ground type, but let's go with Flygon. What about you guys in chat? Flygon a favorite? One of my favorites. I think that Flygon evolution line is such a cool like progression too. You go from this little Trapinch to, is it Vibrava? A little bit more like Flygon to then being the big ass dragon. Yeah, that's sick. Flying Gen 3. So we have Beautifly, we have Swellow, Pelipper, nice. Ninjask, okay. Crap, we got Altaria and Salamence and Rayquaza. Okay, once again, Rayquaza will be in the legendary category, and it's also another dragon. We're going to hold off. But I love Ninjask. I love Altaria, and I love Salamence. Ugh. This is hard. This is tough. Who would I pick in this scenario? I want to look ahead and see who's in Dragon, because Salamence might win Dragon for me. I would hate to pick Salamence now and then find out I like Salamence the most in the Dragon category. So by that default, I might lean more towards Ninjask or Altaria. I love both of them. Ninjask has been a personal favorite of mine on online battles. I love the speed. I love its ability speed boost to naturally get more speed. It's a fantastic baton pass Pokemon. Altaria is just great all around, but I'm going to go Ninjask. I love Ninjask. Do we have any other Ninjask fans? Anybody? Bueller? All right, taking a look at the Psychics. So we're going to pass these unknown. Did I say Missing No earlier? Maybe I did. I'm all kinds of all over the place with my names in the moment. Gardevoir. Gardevoir is probably one of my favorite Pokemon to date. We have another chance for Claydol. I do like Claydol. Metagross. Fuck. Well, we have Latios and Latias too. How did I not see them in flying? Oh, because they're dragons. They're not flying. They have Levitate. Huh. Well, that's difficult. Dang, then we got some even more badass legendaries. We have Jirachi and we have all Deoxys forms. Crap. No, I gotta say, for fairness, avoiding legendaries, this is gonna come down to Metagross or Gardevoir. That's a hard fight. If I were to like just throw out a poll out there between favorite Pokemons, I guarantee you Gardevoir and Metagross are within the top 10. I bet you they're within top 10. And so I would ask, how many of you out there like Gardevoir? Or how many of you out there like Metagross? That's the predicament I'm in. I love both. I think I'm going to go Metagross, even though I know I really, really like Gardevoir. I think I'm going to go Metagross. I love Gardevoir. But I think I'm going to go Metagross. Let's go Metagross. If anything, because Steven, his signature Pokemon is Metagross. He's the champion of Gen 3. You know, that one little factor is the trump card for me. I love Gardevoir. Shout out to all the Gardevoir fans. Metagross, though. Bug, Gen 3. So we have Beautifly and the Dustox, right? Dustox. We have Ninjask. Shedinja. And our Armaldo. If I hadn't already picked Ninjask, I think Ninjask would take this for me. We're going Armaldo. No, no. I hate it here. Ugh. God damn it. Usually I have the wig right behind me for quick access, but it's not. I gotta go get it. Alright, so we have to pause for the cause. For those of you that are watching the YouTube video, here's a fun little fact. For 10,000 coins, you can make me suffer. This is what we call Cody Catler. Alright, picking up halfway through the episode with a pink wig on. So here we go. Gen 3 Rock, we've got Nose Pass. We have Argon, or Argon. How do I pronounce that? Aron. Agron. Agron. We have Cordilli. We've already passed our Sun and Moon. Armaldo is back. Relicanth. And then Regirock. All right. So if we didn't have Agron here, I might go another Reggie. But I don't think anybody's taking the cake with Agron. This was one of my favorite Pokemon. Once again, shout out Josh. You ran this on one of your core teams, and this was another Pokemon that humbled me. This thing is beefy as hell, and it's hard to get past unless you have the right setup. We're going Aggron. Ghost type Gen 3, fairly limited. We have was that Shedinja? We have Sableye. We have our Shuppet line. All right, looking at these, we might go Sableye. He a little dude. Sableye is most certainly a little dude. I think out of this group, I'd go Sableye. At the time, he was the most annoying combo of typing. Ghost and Dark, it had no weaknesses. There were no super effective moves. Moving on to Dragon. Finally, we get to see what's in the Dragon category. All right, so I got Flygon, already checked. Altaria, coming back for round 2. Salamence, another favorite, and then Latios, and Rayquaza. So if I'm not mistaken, we picked Flygon. So this basically boils back down to Altaria or Salamence, which I gotta say I do love Altaria, but between these two, Salamence is taking it. Salamence is a heavy hitter. That Intimidate is amazing. Moving along to the Dark type, let's go. So we got Mightyena. I gotta imagine this was a lot of people's favorites because it was early on. Like a lot of people picked up Poochyena. We have Shiftry, we have Sharpedo again. Did I pick Sharpedo already? Because that's... I'm already like forgetting what we picked. Cacturn, Corphish, no, not Corphish, Crawdaunt, right? And then Absol. Absol's really cool. Once again, this song's a vibe. Okay, so Sharpedo, I'm just gonna say no. We've already picked Sharpedo. Probably my favorite within this category, but I might go Absol. I don't know if anybody here plays Pokemon Unite. Absol is really fun. Absol, absolutely. Dang, everybody in chat's saying Absol. All right. You agree. Moving right along. Steel type. Okay, we have some solid steels. I do want to say Mawile is one of my favorite. It's Steel and Fairies. That's a really good combo. This Pokemon, for me, it didn't get enough love until we were in our X and Y era, which is when Fairy was introduced, when it picked up Fairy typing. But I mean, looking at the rest, we have Aggron we've already picked. We have Metagross we've already picked. I like Registeel, not my favorite Reggie. And then we have Jirachi Steel type? What? How did I not know that? Probably gonna go Mawile. If I were to look just at Steel alone, I don't think... Might not be my favorite Steel. Again, we've already picked two of the badass ones here, but Steel and Fairy is a sick combo. But Mawile, Steel, Gen 3. Moving along to Fairy Gen 3. So we have a chance for Gardevoir to come back up. I think we're set. I don't need to look any further. We just picked Mawile. I'm not going to pick a baby form. I don't care too much about the first two. Well, I take that back. I do genuinely like all three of these. Amazing. But Gardevoir... my favorite. I'm picking Gardevoir, Fairy type. I'm glad that I didn't pick Gardevoir for my Psychic. Favorite starter. Would I rather have a Sceptile? Would I rather have a Blaziken? Or would I rather have a Swampert? AKA Swamp Ass. All of them are really good, and all of them saw Mega forms. Like, they all got unique Megas, too. So I'm partial to not want to pick Blaziken, because I've already picked Blaziken. I want to be very clear that I love all three of these starters. I really do have a hard time deciding which do I like the most. I'm going to go Swampert. Swampert. I look over and you guys are saying Mudkip. Let's go. Let's go. Great minds thinking alike. Gen 3 gimmick form. Scroll up so you guys can see we're in gimmick form category. So again, in the gimmick form, we have all the megas all the way up until... Actually, all of these are mega forms. None of these are Gigantamax. Okay. So what mega did I like the most? Again, I like all three of the starters. I'm going to go ahead and cross out Blaziken. I don't think Blaziken was my favorite. I do think that would be a tie between these two, maybe a little bit more on the Swampert ends. Continuing to look at the megas though, and again, I'm thinking which ones did I use a lot in battle. Metagross is sick. I love that forearms. Oh, and then we have the primal forms. Those are... and the Rayquaza. Ugh. Okay, so I think it's going to come down to either Swampert or one of these last three. Either the Omega and Alpha form, or the Primal forms, rather, or Rayquaza. Ugh. I think I'm going to go with the Dragon, Rayquaza. Rayquaza had, like, a lot of the story, like the end game story in Omega Ruby Sapphire, with Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. I did use it a lot. And it made it just like insane amount of stats. Ridiculous. My favorite legendary for Gen 3. What is that going to be? So we have our Regis, Latios and Latias. We have the core legendaries, the Kyogre, Groudon, and Rayquaza. We have Jirachi, which surprises me as a steel type. And then we have the Deoxys forms, all 4 Deoxys. What legendary do I like the most out of all of them? This is tricky. I think on the more simplistic side, like my brain caters towards the OG 3, and I mean Kyogre, Groudon, and Rayquaza. I really like the story that goes on around these legendaries within Ruby and Sapphire. Look, we're either trying to flood the world, we're trying to create more land and a drought, basically dry up all the water, or we're trying to keep both of those things balanced with the dragon that runs the skies. I don't know. I'm probably going to pick between these 3. We already picked Rayquaza, so I'll go ahead and cross him out. Which would I prefer out of these 2? I'm pretty sure I was already clear about it. Kyogre, I would go Kyogre over the 2 of them. Now, I want to be clear, both of these see a lot of love online. They're both really good as far as online competitive battles. But Kyogre I used a little bit more. I like to use a Kyogre and Goodra combo where I had them both using Thunder. Amazing. Kyogre's taking it. Now we've come to the end of episode 3. Who is my favorite Gen 3 Pokemon? Slacking, Blaziken, Sharpedo, Breloom, Manatryke, probably not taking the win, I can't remember the name. Regice, Makuhita, Rosalia, Flygon, Ninjask, Metagross, Armaldo, Aggron, Sableye, Salamence, Absol, Mawile, Gardevoir, Swampert, the Omega Rayquaza, or Kyogre. It's hard. I gotta say, if I were to boil this down to like 4, we have Metagross, I have Aggron. No, I'm sorry, not Aggron. We have Metagross, I have Gardevoir, I have Salamence, and we have Kyogre. I think I want to avoid picking Legendary. I love Kyogre. It's probably the top 3. But Metagross, Gardevoir, Salamence. I like that the champion, his signature Pokemon was Metagross. Gardevoir is so viable even to today. And then Salamence, just a badass dragon. Really, really good. I don't know, guys. I'm feeling that my heart's leaning towards Gardevoir. Even though earlier I was torn between Gardevoir and Metagross. I feel like this is contradicting what I had just said, but I'm going to go with Gardevoir. All right, y'all, that wraps up episode 3. Look at that. We finished the 3rd row. We are trekking along. Thank you guys for making it this far into episode 3. If you hadn't already got to check out the other 2 episodes, go check them out. It was a lot of fun filling out Gens 1 and 2. But if you guys are enjoying these videos, make sure you leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. It helps see any of the additional content that I've got putting out. Also helps the channel continue to grow, which I very much appreciate. But again, thank you for your time. Thanks for making it this far. And I will see you guys in the Gen 4 video. So until then, my friends, adios.